Hey guys, and welcome back to this Director of Football series. In the last episode you saw us do a insane job with Southport, finishing just outside of the playoffs after taking over as their Director of Football when they were in 16th spot, appointing a new assistant manager which functions as a manager, and then also getting a trophy in the end. In this episode we're going into the second season with Southport, which is really exciting. Let me just run through the transfers that we've made and also how the finances are looking, and maybe I'll be showing you some other things as well. Let's start off with the transfers. We've brought in a lot of players, starting with last season where we already brought in 3 players in the name of Lewis Beckett, who is going to be just a backup player for us, Seth Nana, Tuismani and Chris Porter, all free transfers on pretty cheap deals. We've also let go of the players as you can see right here, but all of them were known except for Declan Evans. He's now also gone to Welling. And then for the transfers that happened in this season, you'll see we brought in 5 more players: Marcus Posha, Elliot Jones and Lewis Knight. Not really worth mentioning, they're more backups because the main team is still there. However, I did bring in 2 youngsters from our newest senior affiliate Blackpool. Josh Miles and Jack Moore have come in, and especially Jack Moore is a very good player. Danny Lloyd has left the club as well, as he was already leaving, so he was getting paid a lot of wages. He's now on 1.7 and we were paying him 500k, so I'm happy that he left. He was the best player in our team, but we really could use the money to spend somewhere else. Following that, let's also take a look at our finances. You'll see here our overall balance went down, and that is because we spend a lot of money, and that allows us to upgrade our training facilities. So they are being upgraded as we speak, and also we are trying to fund more coaching courses, because as you can see, I'm currently a National B license, so my stats have gone up a lot more, which is good to see. Reputation also growing. I do really need that in my character to make sure that we can take control of a bigger team later on. However, even more important is that our manager, Kingsley James, is now studying for his National C license, which is absolutely insane. This guy as a manager is starting to become really good. He's already gained a +2 in most of his key stats, so I'm very happy for that. Also, we have given him a new contract. He's now here for 3 more years, and the rest of the team is looking like this. Pause the video if you want to have a quicker look, but as you can see, everyone has some good wages now. It's very well divided. There's not someone who's earning a lot more, except for David Morgan, but he's our captain and one of the best players. He still has 2 good years in him, so I gave him a contract until 2023. Other than that, it's not that much. As a director of football, you need to make sure that you're spending the wages as efficiently as possible, and I think that's what I did. We went from 8 to 10k, which does mean that we need to perform this season in the playoffs to make that extra money to actually get promoted to the Panorama National League. For that, I also was able to hire more staff. So as you can see, another coach, another performance coach and another physio. Do keep in mind, guys, it's the 1st of August, so we could still make some transfers happen, but I don't think we really will. One last thing I wanted to mention is that, as you can see, we've played a lot of friendlies and we've lost them all. Is that bad? No, that's actually very good for our finances, because home games give you, of course, gate receipts. So if we went from 60k to 78k, which is absolutely insane. 20k for a team like us is a lot of money, so very happy with all of those friendlies that I've planned, and that will really help us secure a better future. If you've missed something which you would like me to show you in the next episode, please do leave a comment down below. For now, I'll be saving to the 31st of August after the transfer window to see how we're doing at the halfway point. So see you in a blip. We're back from the sim, and as you can see, we're doing amazingly. 2 losses, 27 wins and 83 points, almost 18 points clear of our second opponent in Scunthorpe. We're never giving this away, I don't think. But also in the English FA Cup we've done excellent as well. beating Ashton, Bury and Rochdale, which is kinda expected, but after that beating Gateshead 3-0, a League 2 side. After that Carlisle, a League 1 side, also beating them 3-0, and barely losing to Derby, who are a Championship side. That really meant that we got a lot more money than we were expected to, which will help us improve the club in a rapid rate. Next to the successes that we've had in the competitions, you'll also see that we're doing very well when it comes to the wages. You see that we have shrunken our wage budget by almost 500k. And that is because during the season we let go of some players which we didn't use, and we brought in some players who will boost our team. Let me give you a brief overview of the players that left the club. Seth Nana, Matty Thompson and Matt Derbyshire, and let me show you also the reason why they left. So they were playing barely for us because the manager didn't select them and we had enough depth in those positions. So those guys we let go of, which I think in the end gave us around 1500 extra euros to spend on wages, and that's what we did. We brought in a very good goalkeeper for this level who unfortunately doesn't wanna extend his contract because he thinks we're not good enough, and we brought in a very talented midfielder, 22 years old. He's here still for another season. Very good player, playing very well for us. 3 goals, 2 assists. Those guys had a combined wage of about 1250, 1350, so that meant that we got more room in our wage budget, and also we let go of some youngsters. With more finances available, we could also improve our staff, and that's what we're doing. We've got an allowance to hire 1 more coach and 1 more physio. Next to that, also some big news. Our facilities, when it comes to the training facilities, have been upgraded, so they're now below average, which means that the players that are at our club will actually improve a little bit more than they used to. And also, we are not renting our stadium anymore. No. From June 2025 we are actually the owner of the stadium. So we still gotta wait a couple of months, but from next season on we'll be our own owner of the stadium, which means that all the gate receipts will go to our club, which will hopefully boost our income even more in the following seasons. Lastly, a quick glimpse at the finances. We're at 470k. We were at 535k in June 2024, so let's try to get there again. If I'm going to make some improvements, it's probably not going to be the training facilities, but I'm going to focus more on youth to see if we can get some good youth players in who we can sell on for a profit later on. However, for now, I'll be simming to the end of the season and we'll see how we did in this second season with Southport. See you after the sim. The end of the season is one to never forget. We didn't even have to play the playoffs, we just got crowned champions with 122 points. That is a lot more than the previous record of Chester, who scored 107 points. When it comes to the English FA trophy, we lost in the quarterfinal, beaten by Torquay United. It's fine, it's fine. Promoting to the National League is absolutely insane scenes. I'm so happy we've achieved this in just the second season. Alrighty, here we are, the end of season review. Let's go through it. The new arrivals, of course, Jack Moore, 17 assists, 2 goals. Chris Porter, the 41-year-old veteran, scoring 30 goals, and also Josh Miles, the other loanee, 23 goals. Very happy with those loans, but the rest of the guys also did very well. All the new guys we brought in, pretty good averages. We've played them a lot, so I'm happy with all of those transfers. Let's go to the season's results. As you already saw before, in the National League North we were crowned champions. We had an average home attendance of 1600, so we're filled in 1/4 of the way. We do need to see that climb in the National League, but let's see how that goes. In the FA Cup we made it until Derby County, also good stuff there, and in the FA Cup we could have gotten any further, but losing against Torquay United in the quarterfinal is not that bad. Moments to remember: we had a nice win over Leamington. In the English FA Cup we had a nice win over Rochdale, and goal of the season, I won't bother you with that because it's not that interesting. Then on to the finances, which of course as a director of football is very interesting. Matchday commercial and retail is almost 500,000, so it's really getting up there. Competition prize money also a lot better, and broadcasting revenue and sponsorship is probably not better because I think the money from last season got counted into that season, and from this season we're missing something, but I think the sponsorships I just saw are like around the same level. Then how we lined up, which players were important for us. Of course, Josh Miles, very important for us. He's going back to Blackpool now, but also Chris Porter is going to retire after the end of the season. Very good guy. Brought him in as a backup, became our starter, and absolutely insane scenes from him. Also, the goalkeeper Max Thompson, still trying to renew his contract. He doesn't want to yet, but maybe we'll find a way. Then let's move on to other important things, and that is our squad, how it's looking right now, and especially the contract situation. We have about 14 to 15 players here who could potentially not join us in the National League. We're going to see if we want to keep them or if we could potentially bring in replacements for them who are a lot better. For the loanies, I'm gonna try to loan them in again because I was very content about them, and for the other players we're going to see if they want to stay and if they're good enough for us to bring into the National League. The difference between level between the two leagues is not too big, so I reckon some of them can come, but we do have been given a very nice transfer budget, almost 125k, with a lot more money to be spent into the wage budget, almost 7k. So I think we could do with bringing some improvements into the team. Lastly, the most important thing when you're playing as a director of football, the finances. We're having a very healthy overall balance, but you do see a spike in income and expenditure here, and that is because we have taken out a loan to buy the stadium. We're going to try to pay back this loan as quickly as possible by keeping a positive balance. However, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do so. Next season is the National League, and we're going to try to stay in that league. I don't want to promote very quickly because I would rather just stay in the league and build up a good healthy club instead of going through the leagues way too fast and going into negative debts. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. The last thing I wanted to mention is that we're now studying for a Continental C license, and also our manager, who's doing a fantastic job, Kingsley James, is now also studying for his Continental P license. This guy is absolutely fantastic, and I might even consider giving him a new contract sooner rather than later. Anyway, for now, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you've enjoyed, please don't forget to leave a like and let me know down in the comments what you want to see next. And I hope to see you in the next episode.